Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our 60th episode of Bandwidth and Banter. Say hello, Druid.
Oh.
That lady right there is Druid IRL, my co-host and co-creator of Bandwidth and Banter. And she's amazing. Guys, make sure that not only do you support us here on Storm Saga Games, but go drop support and like and all the subs and everything on hers. You'll find links below to her channel because she's as much part of Bandwidth and Banter as I. So I love you all. And we love her. We're going to take good care of her.
I love you guys. You're the best. And I would much prefer if you just support Stormy, just saying. But that's, and our guest today, just saying. Because it's not about me. It's about our guest today. And our guest last week, who did we have on last week, Stormy?
We had I Am Wilgrim on last week. Wow, what an amazing treat that person was. Like one of the best shows that we've had. They're all amazing.
Every single one's absolutely great.
But I Am Wilgrim he hit it out of the park. Just an incredible human being, wonderful person, and a great streamer. Guys, go check.
I'm happy he's back on Twitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Big fan. Big fan.
And tonight we have a very special guest on the show, a very good friend of Banana Tom and Fates, an avid player of Souls-like games. So a lot of you folks are going to really enjoy. And just a hilarious and knowledgeable gamer. It's just a treat to have him on. Let's go ahead and jump to it. Introduce him, milady. Eklipze. Yes. We have Eklipze on the show tonight. For some reason, you were peeking. That's me. That's him right there. By the way, Eklipze, please. Yeah. Wow. What happened, dude? Before you had an actual human face. Now, what's going on there?
You see, my head just kind of morphs sometimes.
Oh, okay.
It just happens, and it'll probably happen one or two more times the rest of the stream.
Okay. Did you drink a potion or something?
No, it just does it. It's like every time I sneeze kind of thing, you know?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little rough, but, walking through life like this is questionable at times.
Yeah, no, I get that. Hey, can you share with us, reintroduce yourself and share with the folks a highlight about your stream and yourself?
All right, well, my name is Eklipze. Gone by that since as long as I can remember. I mostly stream Fortnite and Souls-like games. However, I will be starting Horizon Forbidden West tonight. I'm super excited about it because it just came out on PC. Other than that, I'm just a Canadian who plays way too many video games.
We love it.
And sometimes transforms into a unicorn.
Absolutely.
Right on. Right on.
I love Canadians. Just saying.
Perfect.
It's the syrup. I get it.
I don't know if you can control your sneeze power, but can we have the human you for the start of the interview now?
Oh yeah, hold on. Just give me one quick touch. Sorry about that. That was a violent one.
No apologies necessary. It was a treat, sir. Honestly. Oof. After you showed us that, I was going to ask you to wear one if you weren't already going to. So. All right. I guess Druid gets to start off the questions this time today. I interrupted you. Go ahead, Druid. I'm sorry.
Well, I just said I'm falling more and more in love. Just saying.
It's Terry Crews. I get it.
Sorry, my heart is racing right now. Okay. Please share a boring fact about yourself.
Ooh, I've never once counted to 7 the same way when I tell people I can count to 7.
Okay, that's
never gotten there with the same amount of numbers.
That's both boring and interesting. Yeah. I love it.
That's
us. He did it to us when we were doing our sound testing.
Yep. I've never once counted to 7 with the same amount of numbers.
Foreshadow right there. That is epic. I love that so much. Oh my god.
Well, that's a neat trick. I'll have to see if I can test you on that in the future. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I'll take your word for it, actually. So Eclipse, how did you pick your Twitch name, and what was the inspiration?
Honestly, I don't actually have a good answer for that. I got the nickname when I was like 13 from a friend of mine. I don't know what it was. He just said something about a solar eclipse, and I was like, oh, I love those things. And then it just kind of went from there. Just kind of caught its own, and then everyone started calling me Eclipse for a while. And I made my first Halo gamer tag with it because I used to play a lot of Halo back in the day. So we just went with that. But obviously, just normal Eclipse would be boring. So we have the Albanian spelling of it.
I love it.
Which is actually just, I didn't know that until a couple years ago. But
wow, so that's not just a elite gamer way of spelling it; it's an actual linguistics way.
Huh. Apparently, yeah. I didn't know that until long after I was spelling it this way, though.
Wow, that's awesome.
I love that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that it's just been a nickname forever.
It has, as long as I can remember.
So it's not weird for people to call you Eclipse. Like there was no transitional period. That's so great.
Not great. Too long after I started on Twitch, it just got shortened down to EK. So, it's Eclipse or EK usually. Friends and family call me Matt, Matty, Matthew, any of those variants. So, but even then, most people, it's just back and forth between that, even in personal life, right? So,
cool. That's badass.
Yeah,
I love that so much. What D&D class would you consider yourself to be in real life?
Oh, see, that's rough because I've never actually played D&D. I've never had a group of people I could play with. But I've always gone more towards like wizard and mage type characters in every game I play.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go down that line.
Yep.
That's fitting.
Yep.
Probably. I'm gonna go with like chaotic good though.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I'm gonna go that direction.
Yeah.
I respect that. So, and it makes sense too. Like I kind of see tech as being the magic of our 20th century world, and you seem to be really good with tech. So it really fits.
I'm decent. I want to toot my own horn, mostly because I don't have a horn. But
toot your own horn. Do it. Brag.
The best I could do is like ring a cowbell. I don't have a horn.
That's right. So I have an interesting question for you. Why does your About section intro remind me of a Journey song?
Well, you see, I don't know. It might just be a coincidence. Because I'm just a small town T-Rex. Okay. And I'm living in a lonely world.
Living in a lonely world?
Yeah. One time I took a midnight train. It was going anywhere. So I just... It might just be a coincidence.
What made you think to add that to your About section? We love it, by the way.
Yeah.
I think I was just listening to the song. And I was like, what do I write here? Because I listen to music a lot when I'm doing everything. So I was like, what do I write here? I don't know what to put about me.
Yeah.
And then I just did it. I have as I told you guys earlier, I have an inflatable reptile costume, but I used to have the inflatable dinosaur before it got taken from me by someone who did not return it, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
And I used to go everywhere in the inflatable dinosaur costume. Like I used to mess around with it. I've gone bowling in it. I've gone dancing in it. I've gone to a bar in it. I went to my friend's wedding in it.
Wow.
It was. They were okay with it. They wanted it. It's. And I was wearing my regular people outfit for the ceremony itself. So. Yeah. So like I was a small town T-Rex, but not in a small town, and it just kind of fit.
That is so good. I'm not allowed to own such things.
I also should not be allowed to own such things. You see, I also have an inflatable Oogie Boogie and an inflatable balloon animal. I think another. I can't remember.
Hmm.
So, I also have a unicorn head that just comes out of nowhere.
You sneeze and it shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
It was
is so
awesome.
fantastic. I live for it. I live for it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. When I'm not feeling the best, I buy more costume stuff. Apparently, I don't know. It just happens.
Honestly, I fully support it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't control what kind of day you have, but you can control what kind of day how weird of a day other people have, you know. And
Exactly.
you know, that is the thrills in life, is to confuse people, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Always the
That
best.
explains you a lot, Druid.
Did that just kind of like make a lot of things click?
Mm-hmm.
Eclipse. Do you use the Elite controller for all of your games?
I do.
You're not a keyboard and mouse player?
No, so there's I think I did, what was it? There was that Amazon game that came out not too long ago that everyone was doing. It was an MMO.
Mm-hmm.
I did that on MNK. But for the most of it, I do controller. I was always I got an N64, I had an NES. I didn't have a PC growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I had an Xbox 360, Xbox One, you know, like so I've always just been on an Xbox controller for as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just easier for me, and because I have really bad sleep apnea, it kind of hurt a lot of my brain cells because I didn't deal with it for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So learning things like MNK is a little rough for me because my brain stops processing again, and I'm like, wait, what button do I press? And I just
Get that.
most games that I play, I'm higher end in, and they're like online games and stuff like that. So it doesn't make sense to try and learn them in already really sweaty lobbies, you know.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I tend to just I use an Elite controller, an Elite 2, because it's you know,
Yes.
got used to the paddles, and now I just don't even remember how to move my thumb up to press the A button.
Wow. Awesome.
When I first started learning mouse, because like controllers hurt my hands really bad. Like my right hand will lock up. It's just from working food service my entire life. Yeah. So when I learned mouse and keyboard, I actually had a cheat sheet of like what buttons did what for any game I was playing.
Wow.
And then I eventually learned that I could remap the keys. Like, it only took me a year and a half of playing on mouse and keyboard to be like, I can remap this how I'm comfortable.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a whole ass cheat sheet. It would be sitting next to me. So I'd have to glance at the cheat sheet, then glance at the keyboard to go, where's R again?
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm really good at typing. Like 120 plus words a minute.
Nice. Damn.
But when it comes to gaming, can't for the life of me. And my community always makes fun of me for my typing because, like, I just go and I'll start typing a sentence and it's just
done.
Wow.
You know, and then they're like, "Well, typers," and I was like, "Oh well." So they've made me do a typing test on stream a few times.
Amazing. I love
it. I get that. My stream likes to make fun of me because I use a inverted mouse, and I also remap my keys to the arrow keys instead of WASD. Like I basically make the arrow keys my WASD.
Okay.
And so because of that, I'm using like the page up and the page down, and so I'm stretching my fingers while I'm playing, and it makes sense for my hand because for whatever reason, WASD the keys are too close and I get fumbled, and so I get what you're saying. It's like once you get used to a controller type, it's really hard to retrain yourself to do something different.
Yeah.
So EK,
there's a couple games I try, but
yeah. Tell us, how'd you get into Kim Possible? What's the story with that?
Well, hold on. What's going on with Kim Possible?
No, I want to know what
greatest show ever. Loved that show when I was a kid.
Totally did not snoop your Amazon wish list or anything.
Okay. So that would be why. Okay. So I loved the show when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a show that you can like find anymore. So like you have to get like the DVDs off of Amazon. And I put those on my Amazon wish list years and years and years ago, and I've never paid attention to my Amazon wish list. So it used to have like what was it, Recess and stuff on it too, from like just shows and stuff from when I was a kid. And my buddy actually bought me one of the Recess DVDs off of the wish list one time, and I was like, "Oh, this is sick," and then I never watched it. I don't know.
It's amazing. No, so one of my coworkers from my last job, their text message ringtone was the Kim Possible. Doo, 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 doo. And
what's the stitch?
it brought me back, you know, and I was just like, and then I was like, all right, we're going to snoop his Amazon wish list because we research, you know? And I was just like, Kim Possible. Fuck yes. Yes. So good. The Recess movie was awesome. I completely agree. So good.
I loved Recess. It was the greatest show. But yeah, no, Kim Possible was definitely it was a nostalgia thing. And let's be real, Shigo was one of all of our first crushes.
Yeah.
You can't fight it. So
Yep.
It is all on Disney Plus these days.
Nice. I love like makeup trends that are like, it's when you like only do the upper lip, you know, and we're like, that's the Kim Possible.
That's the Kim Possible.
Okay. Yep. Give her the recommendation or the recognition she deserves.
Yeah, you put some respect on her. I got you.
So
you're the Bioawakening, exactly. Yeah. No, that one was a surprise because, like I said, I haven't looked at my Amazon wish list in I don't know how long. I don't even remember what's on there.
There was some good stuff on there, and I was like, that looks fun. And I went down some wet memory lanes with some of the movies that it was so good. It was beautiful.
I have a really big movie collection. Well, I guess it's not that big. It's like 400 and something DVDs, but
wow,
big enough.
That's monstrous.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So Eclipse, what drew you to Twitch?
So fun fact, I've been on Twitch since before it was Twitch.
Oh wow.
I've been using Twitch since back in the Justin TV days. And back then, I actually used it mostly just to watch NCIS and The Simpsons because people were playing mirrored versions of them on nonstop loops.
Oh.
And I was like, well, this is way cooler than watching TV and getting commercials nonstop.
Yeah.
And then I streamed myself doing some Halo 3 off of like a webcam forever ago, a couple times. And then I lost like I didn't go on Twitch, I didn't go on Justin TV after it had changed for a little while. And then I came back when I was playing Destiny 1 because there was a person that I used to watch streaming all the time who was doing trials carries. And I started hanging out with communities and stuff, and I just kind of stayed from there.
Yeah. So how long have you been streaming though? Like consistently?
Streaming consistently. I think my longest sub is like 82 months or something.
Damn.
Wow. That's crazy.
So I got into the affiliate program like the day it released.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy shit.
But I was streaming for I'd say 2 years before that. Like consistently on and off.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
awesome.
Streaming off of my Xbox with a laptop beside me for my chat, and
that's incredible.
Eventually graduated to all this.
That is incredible. I love that. I think you are officially the first person that has been on Twitch the longest that we've interviewed.
Agreed. Yeah, without a doubt.
It's awesome. Hell yeah. That's so good.
Yeah, I think this account.
Yeah, we're seeing ancestral royalty of Twitch here today on B&B.
It's fucking wild. I love it. What were you about to say, Eclipse?
I was trying to see when I made my account. Unfortunately, I can't see it if I click on my own name, apparently. But yeah, so I made my account forever ago.
Well, on that note, what did family and friends think when you told them you planned on streaming?
Honestly, no one really said anything about it. everyone just kind of went with it, and they were like, "Yeah, let's go with it." 23rd of August, 2010. Yeah, okay, so yeah, made it almost 14 years ago.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah,
amazing. That's
they
so
just kind of went
cool.
with it. Originally, I was just doing it on the side, like I was still working full time, and I was streaming in the evenings or whatever, right? But for the most of it, they all just supported me. My mom used to Twitch Prime sub with to me every month. She keeps forgetting to now, and I'm too lazy to sign her in and do it. But so like yeah, they've supported me.
Right on. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good.
God. What struggles did you deal with when you first started streaming?
Getting bored. Because like I'd be playing, and at first I was really bad at reading my chat. And then I got better at reading my chat, but then I realized there was no one in my chat. And you got to stick through those times.
Yes.
But I would always get really bored. And I think that's what got me, is the boredom of not having anyone to talk to. And then I would just kind of drift off because, you know, ADHD. And I would be like, well, I don't even want to play the game right now. I'm just kind of... And it would just... I think that was the biggest struggle. For sure.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good old days.
Good old days in the beginning.
Well, what tips can you share with future streamers?
Do your best to pay attention to your chat and communicate with them. Honestly, communicating with your chat is one of the most important parts of streaming.
Yes.
Definitely keep it as a hobby until, like, don't go in thinking it's going to be a job, because if you're going in thinking it's going to be a job, you're probably just setting yourself up for failure. As, you know, 90% of Twitch streamers don't make it past even to affiliate. So you got to go in, treat it as a hobby, you know, be you.
Yes.
And communicate with your chat. Those are like the three biggest things.
Right on.
Absolutely. I literally gave that exact same advice to a friend of mine who's just getting started streaming. And I'm like, you have to pay attention to your chat. You have to. You have to just constantly be looking at your chat, even if nobody is in there. Even if one person chatted 30 minutes ago, still talk to that person as if they're there. Like, that person is there. Like pretend.
Background, they could be doing anything else, right? Like they could have just ran to the bathroom. You never know.
Exactly. Or they're lurking in their chat, watching you while they're playing their own game, which is what most people do. Right?
I totally never do that while you're playing Goose Goose Duck or anything else. No.
Nope, never ever.
No.
Right?
No. Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be. But, you know, yeah.
Probably
absolutely.
the unicorn guy.
What do you enjoy most about streaming?
The communities, for sure.
Yeah.
The communities and just getting to share my gameplay. Because, like, yeah, it's cool if I'm playing the game, but it's so much cooler if people get to learn something from the game or from my gameplay. Like, I do a lot of Fortnite because it's what a couple of my friends play, and it's the only thing I can get them to play. And I'm a highly skilled player, some would say.
Yeah.
With a KD of like 10 in the last month or something. So like having people come in sometimes and seeing like, oh, this was a really cool play. Like maybe I can learn how to do that and implement it into my gameplay. And I'm like, yeah, you should.
Yeah.
And then I'll give little tips and be like, this is how you practice it. Yeah.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's exactly one of the things that we like to highlight, all of us in Stormkeep, is, you know, to help provide information and help to be helpful to other streamers and people, even just people in the community. So EK, how long have you been playing video games, and what was the first one you ever played?
Also pretty much as long as I can remember. I'm pretty sure the very first game I ever played was Duck Hunt.
Wow.
With the little orange and gray gun, like we're going all the way back, right?
Beautiful.
Did a lot of Mario when I was younger. I actually still have my N64 just over here with like Ocarina of Time, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, games like those. Like I loved those when I was growing up. Going back and playing them now, I'm like, oh wow, okay, no, this game really does aim that gun for you. How did I ever miss a bullet?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so yeah, back to the NES was my first console that we owned.
Yeah.
So yep,
Cool.
Duck Hunt and Duck Hunt Mario combination cartridge was probably the first thing I ever played.
The
Yeah, oh yeah, you gotta blow on it. It says not to blow on it, but you gotta blow on it. Exactly. Yeah.
my emotional support Pokemon Blue.
I had Pokemon Red when I was a kid. My brother got Blue.
Yeah, I had blue version, yellow version, and red version. And then I had a Game Boy Color and a Game Boy Advance, and I would trade between myself for more
What a
powerful
nerd. I love it.
Pokemon.
Yep, I got red and then
The
yellow.
cable.
And then I think I got diamond. You know, my brother got pearl or whatever it was. I got gold, he got silver. So like we would always, one of us would get one, the other one would get the other one growing up.
That's beautiful.
Pokemon Red. Yeah.
Anyways.
Now for Pokemon, really all I play is Pokemon Go at the moment. But that's only because I don't have a Switch.
I
Yes.
had a Switch.
Oh no.
Oh, my husband's heart's too big. And there was a child in need.
Okay.
Ugh.
I get it.
I'm being dramatic, but I think it's adorable and I love it so much. But
I have this painting back here, and this over here. I bought them off of random kids off the street, so
yeah,
I get it.
Yes, I can't be too mad, but there's so many things I want to play on the Switch now, and we don't have one. So, what is your favorite thing and your least favorite thing that you've streamed?
Ooh, that's a tough top. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
I streamed a lot of games, like a lot. I think one of my favorites is probably Resident Evil 4 for streaming. I went through it a couple times, and then I started getting into some of the sillier mods.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think that was really probably in my top 5, like way up there for what I've streamed, because it was just so much fun to go through and just do the silly things, like, you know, actually in that I had a couple of the enemies as Pokemon. Like the dog that you find like chained up, that was Suicune, the legendary dog. Which is great. The giant ogre that comes after you, that was actually Bowser. So like we did a bunch of silly things. The big fish in the lake, that was actually Kyogre. So yeah, we messed around with a lot of stuff on that one. My hand cannon was actually Mega Blastoise. So yeah, grenades were Pokeballs. That was a lot of fun. For my least favorite game, you know, I never really figured out Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm gonna go with that was probably my least favorite. I didn't really give it much of a chance though, so it's probably my fault. Not, you know, the game looked like it would be great, but I just think a game where I was controlling 4 people in combat like that just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, kind of on the same grain, since we were kind of talking Pokemon here a second ago, please tell us about your greatest accomplishment / best catches in Pokemon Go.
Okay. I have a 98% Shadow Mewtwo on Pokemon Go, which is 1 point off of perfect.
Wow.
It's level 50. It's got both of the special moves it needs. It is quite possibly my strongest Pokemon. I also caught a Shundo Incineroar just last week during Community Day, which was great. And I've got a couple other Shundos. I have a 0% Cowboy Hat Snorlax that's a shadow one. I think that's also one of my favorite ones. We named him Fred, just rocking his little cowboy hat, and I think
love that.
Those are like my top things there. Yeah.
I go through bouts of Pokemon Go. I go through bouts where I'll just be like hyper fixated, obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as my husband downloads it and starts playing it with me, that's when I like for some reason it just the hyper fixation disappears, and then he's mad at me.
Yeah.
And then he's mad at me because he's like, "How dare you make me download this game again just for you to stop playing
Just for you to stop playing it." Yep. So luckily I have a pretty active community for the game locally. So a couple of my friends play, and there's a big Facebook group chat that we all chat in. So it's easier to stay active on it. Plus, I use it as my excuse to get exercise.
Beautiful.
Which I definitely could use some more exercise. So
can I.
Yeah.
You're good.
Can't we all?
I do think that the like when Pokemon Go came out, that was the closest to world peace we've achieved.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
It was so good.
It was crazy actually, because at the time I lived in a city with like 125,000 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
And at any given moment in time, either downtown or at Riverside Park, there was a good 5,000 people playing Pokemon Go.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like I remember the first time someone found a Lapras, and they called it out because like there was a nearby thing, but it wasn't like near Pokestops or anything, so no one knew where it was.
Yeah.
So a Lapras showed up, and everyone was like, "Yo, there's a Lapras!" And you just droves of people trying to figure out where this is. One person finally finds it and he screams at the top of their lungs. So they're like 2 blocks away because we've all gone down separate streets looking for it.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. I've never seen so many people. And actually, so I went to GoFest last year in New York.
Ooh,
which was a lot of fun. Shout out to my boy Swift for that, because he brought me down. It was huge.
Amazing.
And it felt like the original Pokemon time, because there was so many people playing. No matter where I went, there was always 30, 40, 50 people face down in their phones catching Pokemon, doing what they could. There was so many people there. And then when we got to the island, because it was like you had a 4-hour window on Randall Park Island where you could play. Once we got there, it was even bigger. Like there was, a few hundred people to 1,000 people there, all walking around the island playing together, and all adding each other or being like, "Yo, come help with this raid," and things like that. It was really sick.
Oh man, yeah, because like I remember when Pokemon Go first came out, we were in this small town in California, and just the downtown was a really popular place, had a ton of Pokemon stops and everything, and Pokestops. I don't know why I said Pokemon stops. I know better. Fine. Anyways, whatever. And it was like my husband and I would just like we're walking down the street and people were like, "Blue team, red team," and like just like a couple like yellow team.
Yellow
team. And it was just the joy in that town, and the cops were so confused. Like it was the best. I cannot. Definitely peak summer. So good.
It was great. Great time.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
How did you get into Stream Raiders, and has it been worth it for your stream?
So I'm gonna say yes on that. It's mostly just something I do in the background. In fact, I even do it off stream now in the background. I'll just randomly start putting units down, and a couple random people who lurk in my stream will notice that I'm online, and they'll start putting units down too. I actually got into it because of another streamer named 20K, or 20 Kilo is their name. And it's a trio of streamers who do 24/7 Stream Raiders. And I lurked in their channel. I spent God knows how many hours in there last year. I have well over 1 million channel points. We'll leave it at that. Just in the 1 year. So. But yeah, so I just kind of lurked in their channel, and I played a lot with them, and it's just a mindless background thing that I can do, so I really enjoy that.
Nice.
I get to pull it up every once in a while on stream and do the battles if people are joining, and if not, I mean, it is what it is. I'll do a couple battles by myself until I lose too many times in a row, and then I'll just shut it off for a little bit.
Right on. Star Kitties got into Stream Raiders for a while, and kind of showed it to me. And she also is a follower of 20 Kilos, so I followed them just because she did, and so I see that they're up all the time. It's always anytime I'm online.
24/7.
Yep.
Yep.
There's
I
three of
wonder
them
how that works.
Shifts, so
like, how can they be online 24/7 and manage it? Like, how does that work?
Well, so there's three of them. They run it in shifts, and honestly, it's mostly just the battle, so they only have to check in once every half hour, give or take, right?
Right.
Occasionally they will, like 20 Kilo will play either Fortnite or World of Warcraft or something in the background. Dr. K, that's Dr. Kimden, he's one of the other ones. He will also do, Fortnite or something else in the background. And then Clara, she will also just do whatever she's doing in the background, right? And they'll just run it. And they just have the three people going at any given moment in time. At least one of them's awake, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
Right on.
There's been a few times where they've had to shut down because someone was sick or something, but
right.
It's usually just
switching gears a little bit here.
Let's do it.
What is your favorite seasoning to put on pasta and tacos? Not necessarily the same time, but
Cajun.
Those two things.
Cajun, for sure.
Ooh.
Thank you for the raise.
I'm a spicy person. I love Cajun in everything. I will pretty much use it in everything I season. I use it on my chicken and my pasta sauce, on like all of my meats. I'll throw a little bit on some ribs. I get the spicy chicken like ramen packs, and I add Cajun and other spices into that too.
Wow.
Like Cajun
That's an
is
interesting
my
idea.
spice.
So basically, you buy the ramen and don't even need the ramen. You just use this spice pack to put on other stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I never thought of that. That's a really great idea. Okay, you might have just opened up a whole new world of cooking for me. Thank you.
But I use a lot of Cajun and a lot of spice.
I love that.
Yeah.
Ooh. I also am a big fan of spice, but I put sriracha sauce on everything.
Okay.
I'm one of those. But I like this particular it's like not like the sriracha sauce that everybody uses. It's a different brand. I can't even tell you what the name is. I can just tell you what the bottle looks like. And it is so much spicier and it's so much more flavorful, and I love it so much. It is
nice. Okay. You'll have to DM me a picture so I can find it.
Yeah, it is.
You have to be
so
super
delicious.
careful. I like a lot of spices. My favorite food is Star Kitty's curry that she makes me. She makes a great Thai curry.
Okay.
But I have to be careful of cumin and oregano because my tummy is kind of allergic to those. And so, I would love to try. For some reason, sriracha sauce also bothers my tummy, and I don't know what in sriracha sauce is it that bother. Like I can eat spicy foods, jalapenos on stuff, and various spices. But for some reason, sriracha really sets off my tummy, and I don't know why.
That's no good.
Shame.
No.
But,
yeah.
That's no good at all.
Yeah.
I love spicy food though. We got a burrito place down the street that I go to every once in a while. They actually they stopped selling the burrito I was getting because it was a limited time offer, so I'm upset. But it was a ghost pepper chicken.
Oh wow.
That was really good, really spicy. So
yum.
Delicious.
My every Christmas, my in-laws send us a new hot sauce.
Nice.
And they are spot on every time.
Nice.
So good.
Okay. I want to do that like the 10 wing hot ones challenge thing. Because I'm so excited to try them all. But I'll get it one day. I'll do it one day.
Yeah. On stream.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Just order a bunch of wings and then just go to town on them. With all the different sauces.
Yep, all lined up just like Hot Ones, because shout out to Hot Ones. We love you. All right. Okay.
Nice. BT's got the wings for me. We're in.
Ooh. Yes. Big McDonald. Okay. So we hear you like movies. So what is the greatest movie ever filmed?
Oh.
In your opinion?
Oh no. Greatest movie ever filmed. I don't have a single answer for this. Because it really depends on my mood for which genre I'm looking for.
Okay.
Greatest horror movie ever filmed, which probably doesn't still stand up to this day, was a movie called Boo, which was filmed in like a mental psychiatric hospital, not literally, but and honestly, I couldn't really tell you the entire background, but it was these teenagers who were, it was Halloween and they were going to this abandoned hospital, and then a bunch of people started dying and horror stuff happened, horror movies. If I'm going action, I really liked a movie called 7 Seconds. I have not been able to find anything about the movie since I last saw it in like 2011. So I have no idea anything about that movie anymore. And then there was a movie, I think it's called Mind Hunters or something, that puts a bunch of people, it's like FBI training island that they put them all on, and then people just start dying off. Like someone's a serial killer who's killing them all off on the island, and they have to figure it out because obviously that wasn't the intention, but just started to happen. I'm gonna go with those three as my those genres. Yeah.
Very interesting and unusual choices. I respect. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I try to stay away from like the mainstream picks. Like I love them still. I love a lot of movies. And I'll watch them, but like they're not the top of my list.
Yeah.
That being said, I also love like all the Marvel movies and stuff. So like I just kind of I'll watch those a lot.
Love it.
So, switching gears back to games a little bit, and then we're going to be moving into the kind of the last kind of funny questions, last few funny questions of the interview. But what draws you to Souls-like games?
I wish I had a good answer for that too. I remember the first time I got Dark Souls, I was playing it on the GameCube. It was forever ago. No, it was Xbox 360. One of them. But my friend brought it over and he's like, "Hey, play this game." And he didn't throw me in at the beginning. He threw me in like halfway through the game against a boss. And I was like, "Well, what is happening?" And for the life of me, obviously, I had no idea how to play. I couldn't beat it. So I kept improving. And then eventually I got to the point where I've done a bunch of challenge runs and stuff, obviously, right? And I think I was the world's first person, and probably the only person who was ever stupid enough to do it, to do a dual ladle only run on Dark Souls 2, where I killed all bosses. It took me 8.5 hours to fight the ancient dragon and kill him on the one attempt that I actually killed him.
Wow.
Because I'm just hitting him, beating him down for one damage a swing with these ladles. And yeah, it was a time. It was a time. So I kept getting better, and then challenge runs were a thing. There was soul level 1 runs and things like that were just it was hard, but it was enough that it drew me in, and it made me want to get better at it.
Sure.
So I think that's probably what it is.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm always so impressed by those by hitless runs and like people that are like motivated to do that. Like it's so fun and wild and fascinating to watch. Because I am too distracted.
It's crazy. I couldn't do a hitless run, not anymore. I could do deathless runs and stuff, right? But it's been so long. I actually just recently went back through and played through Dark Souls Remastered and Dark Souls 3. And I think right before Elden Ring came out, I did a 100% playthrough of Dark Souls 2 again. So like I've gone through them all mostly recently again. So yeah.
Now he's doing the Convergence. So if you guys like that stuff, go watch.
I am doing Convergence, and it is a lot of fun. I actually, right before I joined you guys today, I started a third character on Convergence because I wanted to try one of the other magics again. So,
so
there's
go
so
check
many
it out.
new spells, and I want to try them all out.
All right.
Go back to the mage characters, right? So,
yeah, mage characters are great. One of my favorite builds to do that I've learned is heavy armor and just magic. I love it so much. I don't know why. It just brings me such joy.
I actually did have one of the devs drop by the other day, BT. I think a couple hours after you had asked me that. He didn't identify himself as a dev right away, but he asked me a couple questions. Then eventually, it came out that he was one. So
it's so cool. I think that is so cool that they do that. Yeah. So shout out to the Convergence team. Thank you guys for like popping into our friends' chats and checking it out.
I've been very lucky that. Oh my gosh, how am I having a brain fart moment now? Probably because I was sick yesterday, but. One of the most well-known Daggerfall Unity mods, a couple of them come into my chat from time to time, and one of them is subbed to me regularly. And he, why am I having
Squid Kramer?
Huh? Yeah, Squid Kramer. Thank you. Yes, Squid Kramer is he's made some of the best mods for Daggerfall, and. I kept thinking Spud Solutions. I'm like, no, it's not Tater Lord. It's. I know it starts with an S, and it's like 2 words. Squid Kramer, Spud Solutions. Yeah.
I got you, Story. I know that you're recovering still. So
yeah, and I live in brain fog. Remember, so like it's fine.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I'm amazed that you must be used to it because this sucks.
Yeah, I'm so used to it.
I live like 70% of my life in brain fog too.
Yep.
So it is brain fog.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
What is the weirdest sleeping dream you've ever had that you're willing to share?
Oh, okay. I still have nightmares over this one, so let's go. This one messed with my brain so bad, and I don't know why. I can't figure it out for the life of me. So I was walking around my hometown. It was just a regular day. It was a nice sunny day outside. I'm walking around, and every single person is walking a dog, which is fine because I love dogs, and I can't for the life of me figure out what's going on. But something in the back of my brain while I was obviously asleep, but something in the back of my brain was being like, something's not right here. Something's not right here. Something's not right. And I couldn't figure it out. So I just, I was walking, I got to the place I was going and I stopped and I looked over at someone else who was walking a dog because for some reason everybody had a dog. But the problem is that all of the dogs had like human noses, not like snouts. So, like, I was like, what the hell is going on? And I was like, yo, there's something wrong with your dog. And I looked up at the person, and all of the people had dog faces. Like, they had the fucking snouts. And I was just a normal person. And everybody else on the planet in my city had these. And I was like, what's going on? And then I got terrified, and then I woke up, and now it still messes with my brain to this day. And this was 5-6 years ago.
Wow.
Holy,
that's crazy. That's one of the best ones we've heard. That's amazing.
Wow.
The human brain is a mystery.
I love how fast you like popped up and you're like, I have an answer for this one.
Yeah. It is still messing with my brain to this day. So like that was the perfect question because I have the answer. I have the answer off the top of my head because it's always there.
It's just always lurking. It's
eating away at my brain cell that I have left.
You need to make a movie of it.
I got 2 brain cells left and they're fighting for 3rd place. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on.
So, EK, if you could be any superhero, which one would you choose and why?
Oh. Ooh. If I had to be a superhero. Oh, that's a rough one. I know what superpower, but I don't know what superhero I would be. Never thought about it that way because I've never wanted to be someone else in that sense. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to go with Spider-Man.
Interesting.
Spider-Man is just so much more than he's portrayed as, and like if you like, deep dive into him just as a character. So I would go with Spider-Man. And as for if I could have one superpower, what would it be? I can answer that one in great detail because like if I'm taking this in the sense of like if a genie asked you or was granting you one wish, like you could have one superpower. So I actually have some stipulations to my superpower. First off, it's going to be teleportation.
Okay.
However, and I'm going to pull this up because I actually have it written down in my Discord here. It's not just any teleportation. Whoop. I'm going to pull this over here so that I can read it while I. So there's 5 stipulations on this. Stipulation 1 is it's not limited to places that I've been. I want to be able to teleport anywhere in the world, right? Stipulation 2 is that during teleportation, I first appear in an ethereal form instead of a physical form. That way I don't accidentally teleport like into the middle of the street in Texas and get hit by a bus. Right? So I wanted to be ethereal form at least for a couple seconds before I teleport in. Stipulation 3 is that it's a painless teleportation, both physically and to the universe. It cannot hurt myself, it cannot hurt anyone or anything I'm teleporting, and it cannot hurt the universe around me.
Okay.
Stipulation 4 is that my teleportation is not limited to just my being. I want to be able to teleport myself, my clothes, my friends, my family, my computer. Say I'm going to visit my family, I want to be able to teleport something like that, right? Like, I want all of it. That's right, Pelicanon. I'm ahead of you. And then teleportation or stipulation 5, and this is the final one, is that the teleportation, while not instantaneous because of the ethereal form, doesn't cause any illness, aging, or mental issues to anyone's psyche that was involved. Because you got to cover these things when you're dealing with a genie, because genies will give you what you want, but they'll do it in a terrible way usually, right?
Yep.
So like I put a lot of thought into this. And that is, if I had to take one superpower, it would be teleportation with those 5 stipulations.
Right on. Thank you for sharing your deep dive into
I love that. I love how that you have it written down. And you're like,
I have it written down because, I saved it after I had typed it up the first time because I was telling someone about it and my stipulations. So I have it all written down just so that I can read it off to make it a little bit easier.
I love
Very
that
clever.
so much.
Yeah, approved.
All right. Last but not least, if you had to pick one of these 2 things, to eat for the rest of your life,
and the other would not exist.
The other one would no longer exist. Would it be pasta or tacos?
Oh, I couldn't live in a world without one or the other. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
I feel that with my soul.
I could not live in a world. I couldn't do it. If I couldn't have either or. If I was born into a world that didn't have one, I would have to say I would keep pasta because there's so much more you can do with it than tacos. And I can also just have ground beef and any other in my pasta. Actually, I can just have ground beef in my pasta, right? So, if I had to be born into a world, exactly, it would be a new invention because obviously I was born into a world where tacos didn't exist. But
true. But
thank you.
But yeah,
Very
so
nuanced
I would definitely
perspective.
take pasta.
Oh,
right.
Man.
This is our moment where we transition to the open forum where the folks in chat can ask questions of you. Also, if you have any questions for us, we'll be happy to answer them. Also, guys, go support this amazing long-term super ancestor streamer right here.
Yeah, Druid is great.
Huh?
I said, yeah, Druid is great.
go check out.
We are here.
Yeah, go check him out. Make sure that you give him a follow and subs and help support him and lift him up on Twitch. He's a veteran and he deserves it. So, now moving into the next question.
I have a question that I have in the background that I want to ask.
Go for it.
Do it.
How do you reach the top shelf with such short T-Rex arms?
Well, I actually get on a ladder.
Oh.
And then I reach down to it with my mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how you get to the top shelf. You get above it and you go down with your mouth. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Because I need tips.
Yeah, no, that's the answer.
For the follow.
Let's go, Jimmy Jam Jimbo.
Homemade though, I'm there at your house all day.
That is the answer. You get above it and then you go down because that makes it easier.
And it still makes you feel tall.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're like, oh yeah, well it was on the top shelf, but I'm so big, the top shelf's down there. You know.
Yeah,
so,
oh man, that was mean, BT. BT says to Druid, asking for a friend, Druid.
I made the joke before I saw you say that, BT. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
What's my advice for newer streamers? Again, we did cover this earlier. My advice is 100% start out. Make sure it's a hobby. Don't do it because you're trying to make it a job, because you're setting yourself up for failure. 90% of streamers don't even make it past affiliate or to affiliate. So just make sure you're doing it as a hobby. Make sure you're paying attention to your community, your chat at all times. And things like that. What is your favorite D&D class and why is it not Ranger? Because I'm always a mage of any sort or a wizard. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm usually some kind of magic.
Magic's
no,
fun.
I respect that. I love it.
Yeah.
People like to call me a wizard or a necromancer with my look, so I totally get it.
The silver fox.
That too, I guess. If you say so.
But yeah, so definitely something magic based is where I would go for anything, any sort of D&D or just Dark Souls game kind of thing. I tend to go towards magic of some sort.
So on that note, I have a question that's sort of nuanced regarding it.
Yeah.
In Dungeons and Dragons, there are two types of primary arcane spellcasters. You have wizards and sorcerers. I don't know. In case you don't know the difference, a wizard is somebody who can learn spells by studying spell books and scrolls into their spell book. A sorcerer is somebody who is born with an innate ability to cast spells. They don't get to learn. The only new ones they get is they gain experience. They get to pick a few more spells that they just suddenly know, as if it's evolving within them, right? A sorcerer can cast more often, but obviously doesn't know nearly as many spells, because a wizard has no limit to the number of spells they can learn.
That he learns.
But just a number of spells they can cast per day. So if you had to choose between a wizard and a sorcerer, which one would you think you would pick?
I would probably go with sorcerer, because I tend to go down like a specific line when I'm doing a different build. So like I know what I want when I'm doing those builds, and I'll gravitate towards the specific spells, especially if I can do it more often. But I may not need so many more extra spells. I may find something that works better for me in the smaller one. So I tend to go more on that route, where more often, less spells.
Silverwolf and Joltzer, the reason why I didn't pick Warlock is, even though they're sort of technically arcane, theirs is a unique spell list that is come from their patron, which is usually either a devil or an elder god or a fey creature, and so I didn't quite. But I don't know. That is a good question. I probably should have included that. I
am selling myself to any fey deity that wants me. So
okay, fair enough.
I will gladly accept your soul.
Are there any souls /
She is a fey deity. I confirmed this.
Not mainstream. Honestly, most of the ones I've played have been mainstream in some sense, like Lords of the Fallen. It's not obviously Souls, but it's Souls-like. Lords of the Fallen and Lies of P were great. Lies of P was a little bit less in my books than Lords of the Fallen was, but I don't really have a list of backup ones, no, that are not mainstream that I would recommend, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I've spent so much time playing the main ones that I just haven't really branched out too much past some of the, bigger, not mainstream ones. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Unfortunately, not.
Do you have any questions that you can think of that you would like to ask the Druid or I?
Well, obviously, we have to figure out what your guys' characters are because I don't know. I've never played with you guys.
That's true. He doesn't know. Druid, do you want to go first?
Like what class I would be in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am a multi-class, IRL, multi-class, bard, barbarian.
Okay.
I still think you would be a triple class because you are a good druid as well. Druid. You love plants and animals. So, I mean, you literally named yourself Druid IRL for a reason because you had an apartment full of plants, remember?
I know.
That makes sense.
I know. Just to give you a little backstory, Eclipse. So, and anybody new in chat, fun fact about me, I picked my Twitch name as a joke for one of my IRL friends to see if he could guess who I was based on my Twitch name. Because I just popped in his chat and I'm like, I know you in real life. Can you guess who I am? And he's just like, yes, I know exactly who you are. We actually interviewed him.
Sorry. I was just going to say, Joltzer, I'll get to your question. I actually want to address it before we even get it to him so I can explain it since he hasn't played before. But I want to answer his question first. For me, I guess, like I said, if we're talking about in real life, if tech is like a wizard, I would say definitely wizard. I do have some martial training, so probably I'd be a multi-class bard, fighter, wizard, I would say. Because I love to entertain and love to be the center of attention. Joltzer asks, as a sorcerer, are you starting with mage armor or the shield spell? Before I explain these to our good friend Eclipse here, I'm going to ask Joltzer, are you talking 3.5 or 5th ed? Because they're dramatically different. Mage armor is relatively the same. Shield is dramatically different. If you're talking 3.5, 100% I'd take shield spell over mage armor. If you're talking 5th ed, I would take mage armor over shield. And now to explain it to you, since most people play 5th ed, mage armor gives you a base armor class as if you're not wearing armor. Right? It's as if you're giving, I think it gives I forget what it is, 2 or 3. It's like it just gives you an additional +2 to your armor class. I always get 3.5 and 5th ed confused. Is it minutes per level for mage armor or hours per level? I think it's minutes per level. At any rate, and the shield spell in 5th ed lets you use up a spell slot to instantaneously have a little quick +4 boost to your AC to basically shove off one attack, right? And in the old school 3.5 though, mage armor was a plus to your armor class for number of hours per level, and shield spell was minutes per level, I believe, or rounds per level. But it was a straight up, +4 bonus to your shield or to your armor class for that period of time. So.
I think I'm gonna stick with my my decision of mage armor then. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, AC bonus of 13 plus the dex. Yeah. Of course, it makes sense you would get the full dex modifier since the magical armor is just magical. It doesn't weigh anything like actual armor would.
Okay.
Yeah, like here, I'll read. I'll grab my 3.5 player's handbook here and read that. I'm gonna get the fancy leather one.
No matter who's on this show, it always goes right back to D&D every time.
There's the old 3.5 black leather bound. I wish I'd collected all the leather bound ones, but yeah. So mage armor, it lasts 1 hour per level, and it gives you a +4 armor bonus to your AC, basically for hour per level. So at a moderate level, at like 8th level, you're gonna have basically free armor all day long without having to wear anything.
Yeah,
which is really cool. Which sounds awesome, but I'm pretty sure that shield is even better. Even though it's shorter, much shorter. Yeah, it's a minute per level. It basically creates an invisible tower shield of force that gives you a +4 shield bonus to your AC.
Okay.
For a minute per level. And it's like a fancy incorporeal shield that just floats in front of you. And it gives you immunity to magic missile, which mage armor does not. So.
Okay.
Silver Wolf, yes, we are all nerds and we're all proud of it. Abso-frickin-lutely. Nerd power.
Oh.
Yes. Agreed, Joltsers. I knew you were going to fit in here. I sure hope you can make it to our D&D session tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time. So on that note, Eclipse, since this is about you today, have you ever wanted to get into a D&D group?
I actually have. I was once seeing a girl who was in a D&D group, and I was going to join their next session, like their next campaign, but we ended up splitting up before their campaign was done, so it never ended up happening. So there's been, times where I've wanted to, and I've just been too busy, or things like that. So unfortunately, I've not had a chance to get into any campaigns.
Yeah.
Outside of Horizon. Ooh. Well, the Elden Ring DLC.
Nice.
That'll be huge for me. I am the most excited for everything that I know is coming out this year for Hades 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love Hades.
It's cool.
It's supposed to be coming to early access this year, I believe. Kind of like how they released Hades originally. So I think most excited would be Hades 2 for games planning to play in the near future. I'm also, again, I'm really excited about the Elden Ring DLC. I'm extremely excited for Horizon Forbidden West that I'm starting.
I've never heard of Horizon. I've never heard of it.
It was a PlayStation exclusive. It was Horizon Zero Dawn was the original one. But Forbidden West is the second one, and it actually, like I said, just came to Steam yesterday. So yeah, I just finished Zero Dawn back in January, and this was, I think I finished it, and then 3 days later they announced that Forbidden West was coming to Steam in March, and I bought it right away.
Ooh.
So yeah.
This one here.
I'm an asshole. I'm so sorry. I have heard of Horizon Zero Dawn. I started it twice and never completed it. So I have to pretend like I don't know what anybody's talking about. Yep. Because everybody has to make sure that they remind me that I've never completed it.
Yep.
Twice. I started it and never finished it.
She's tried on stream twice and failed every time. It's just not the best game for her streamer style.
Because my streamer style is sitting there staring at Jaspar for an hour and a half in monologue with him while I'm talking to Chad about fart jokes. Like that's
I get it.
Yeah.
I also had to fart one time.
So
what's Druid? What's another game you're looking forward to this year?
I am looking forward so much to Senua's Sacrifice 2.
Oh yeah, that fits you.
Okay.
So excited. I played the first. So I had a hard time playing the first Senua's Sacrifice by myself. I tried multiple times to play it. It just gave me so much anxiety because it is so good. And so but I did manage to play it on stream.
Nice.
I managed to complete it on stream, and it was so amazing. I had such a good time, and it was such an impactful story to me, and the history and the lore, and I watched all of the behind the scenes stuff on it, and I'm just so excited for the second one because I love Senua. I love her so much.
Yeah,
I pregnant a baby.
I'm super looking forward to
medication.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What was the last thing you said?
I was not. I said she just needs a little bit of medication.
Yeah, a little bit.
I just love her though.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'm looking forward to Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. I already bought it on early access, but I don't want to stream it until it's actually fully released, which is supposedly later this year. And I just, it looks like a really neat kind of gothic, darker version of Skyrim. And I'm totally down. I'm totally into that. So
I think it's going to be so good for you, Stormy. Because like I was looking at it and I was just like, this is a Stormy game. I need to let Stormy play this first, and then I'll just hop on the bandwagon later. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So good.
Man.
So good.
Yeah. Well, Eklipze, my goodness. I want to reiterate once again, it's been a treat and an honor that you've become a friend of all of our friends in our channel. Two of our Lords of Stormkeep, Extirpate Fate and Banana Tom OG. You've been such a friend and support to them. And, I just thank you. We're so happy that we met you.
Yeah.
So, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me as well.
Yes,
You betcha. You
so
betcha.
good.
So guess we'll wrap up now. Everyone, go support this fellow right up. I'm pointing the wrong way. Right up there. Drop him all the biddies and the titties and I'm sorry, and the subs. Go help him out. All right. We got to lift up amazing folks like him.
Just give me one quick second here.
Uh-oh, before we go, he's got another sneeze coming on.
Achoo!
There he goes.
Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what just happened. I just I
my
feel
God.
so. Oh my God, what happened?
Jinkies!
Oh, Raggy.
Roro, Raggy.
It's so good.
That was awesome. All right.
Cannot go follow
Perfect
Eklipze,
timing.
guys. I cannot begin to express. Oh my
Thanks
God.
again, Shaggy. I mean, Eklipze, for coming on and your unicorn friend.
Scooby.
Wow. Just a treat, just an amazing honor to have Eklipze on the stream. Oh wait, he's got one more.
Great.
Okay. What?
It's been great.
Is this really?
Sorry.
What? BT, you
don't
got
know
a
what
friend in
happened,
arms
but-
here. My God. We need to
Let's go,
have
BT.
a collab between the two of these guys in BT costume. Oh my God.
So you're telling me right now that we need to see. We need both Banana Tom and Eklipze to do a collab in banana suits. So that's what you're telling me right now?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it needs to happen. Banana Eklipze and Banana Tom collab. Why is his banana suit better than? I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. His is badass. Don't get me wrong, but yours is both different. You got the fuzzy banana, and he's got the textured banana. You know. I think they're both badass. Now Jolter wants one.
That's what she said.
Thank you once again for having me on.
Absolutely.
Thank you, dude, for the treat. That was worth it. That was worth it.
Go follow him right now.
It's a perfect way to wrap up the stream in the show today. Thanks again, brother. We'll please stay on. We'll be chatting with you a little bit after.
Yeah, of course.
Have a good one. Wow, Druid, so cool, so cool. What a treat.
A man after my own heart.
I had no idea that he's such a veteran of Twitch too. That's so awesome.
I know. All hail the veteran of Twitch, man. Love it. Oh, so good.
He's an antediluvian vampire of Twitch. Like I'm the antediluvian vampire of the world. Just such a treat. Fantastic. Also as a treat, next week we have an amazing streamer. He's a charity streamer, right?
Yes.
I think the person that we have on, guys, please be here to check him out. Kind of a well-known charity streamer on Twitch. His name is Mr. Taco. And it's not spelled the way you would think. It's really quite complicated. But just remember M1S and you'll find him. It's pretty easy.
Yep.
Mr. Taco will be on
excited.
next week's episode. And it's a big honor to have him on because he's a very well-known
charity streamer. We're very excited. We're very excited. It's good. I like being able to highlight charity streamers when we have the opportunity to. It
Agreed.
feels good.
Right on.
It feels so good.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to add before we wrap up, Druid?
I love you guys.
Ditto. All right. Here we go. Thank you for coming to the show.
Please drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below.
If you're listening to the podcast,
please rate and review the episode.
We are Bandwidth
and Banter.
Thank you.
And good night. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.